Welcome to this sixth and final video on the topic of ethics and inspiration as part of the daily dose of Torah offered by the Beit Midrash. My focus is on Mesilat Yesharim, the Path of the Just, an ethical work written by Rabbi Chaim Moshe Luzzatto, the Ramchal. In the previous video, I spoke about the fourth chapter, Acquiring Vigilance. There, the Ramchal explains how learning Torah brings one to vigilance, and how there are three levels of motivation: the truly wise, the lesser ones, and the general masses. He explains the qualities of each group and the difficulties and challenges they face and how to overcome it. He ends the chapter by explaining divine justice and how compassion relates to it. Today, we'll take a look at the fifth chapter, the last one that speaks about vigilance. Bebe'ur mafsidei hazehirut ve'archaka mehem, factors that undermine vigilance and how to avoid them. So the chapter begins. Hine, mafsidei hamida azot umarchikea hem shlosha. There are three factors that undermine this virtue and prevent one from attaining it. Ha'echad, the first one, hu hatipul ve'hatirda ha'olamit. The first is involvement and preoccupation with worldly matters. Hasheni, the second one, haschok ve'alatzon, frivolity and derision. Hashlishi, and the third one, hachevra hara'a, bad company. And we shall discuss each one in turn. So the Ramchal begins to explain the first factor, excessive involvement with this world. He explains how when a person is preoccupied with worldly matters, his thoughts become constricted by the pressures that are imposed upon him, and it becomes impossible to pay attention to one's actions. This doesn't speak to the involvement one should have with his livelihood, but rather the extent and how it affects him from serving Hashem, and to know how to put the boundaries and to limit your involvement. The Ramchal continues to explain how the antidote to this factor is learning Torah. How filling your free time with Torah is the best antidote to this difficulty in acquiring vigilance, and how the Torah is like a medicine given to a sick person. The second factor he mentions that undermines vigilance is frivolity and derision. And he explains how frivolity accustoms a person to tolerate even promiscuity, and how it can lead you to very bad places. And it's really the reverse of vigilance, being frivolous and acting towards others with derision, and that's the second factor that undermines vigilance. And the third factor is bad company. Now it's mentioned many times in the words of the sages. You should stay away from bad company if you have a bad neighbor or a bad friend. And the remedy for it is clear, is to surround yourself by good company and good neighbors, and go towards the people that have a good influence on you, and drive you and turn you in the right direction. And you should stand up to those bad factors, to those bad influences that hurt you. And those are the three factors that the Ramchal mentions in this chapter, and how to overcome it. So that's the end on the topic of vigilance. I hope you enjoyed these videos and you were able to learn something from them. I hope it somehow inspired you, and maybe to keep on learning it, or maybe pick up something else and learn it. So thank you, and if you have any comments or questions, I'm available at nklein@torontotorah.com, and hopefully you'll continue this learning next week with my fellow Avrech, Ezer Diana, who will be continuing the daily dose of videos. Thank you.